win for 3 years. Next week, Aston Villa take another step in Europe. We preview their bid for more glory against Inter Milan. We profile Leeds United, where Gordon Strachan has been one of the driving forces behind a successful return to Division 1. And in Scotland, the team of the moment are St Johnstone. We drop in at McDermott Park before today's clash with Rangers. Good afternoon.
Yes, good day. Well, there you go.
I saw in the papers another comeback.
Another comeback. Beyond Borg. Last week, Leicester. This week, Beyond Borg.
Where will it
Next
end?
week, what? Stan Matthews?
Yes.
Got to be, isn't it? One thing for sure, it won't be St and Greavsie. So let's have all rooms. Mind you, we might be appearing underneath the arches as Flanagan and Allen, the way things are going.
You may be right. Okay, well, let's start with a recap of the midweek international action, which was very encouraging, I thought, Jimmy, from the British point of view.
Yes.
England getting a 2-0 win against Poland.
Yep, good win, satisfactory, no problems at all.
I mean, we don't have, obviously, the moving pictures, but Lineker scored with a penalty.
Yeah, Gary scored with a penalty, good penalty. The keeper decided to go one way, Gary went the other.
And then got badly injured. I gather 8 stitches in his head.
Yeah, well, we've all had I mean, you and I have got more stitches in us than Gary Glitter's suit, mate, haven't we? So we all get them, don't we? But
and then Beardsley, come on, Peter Beardsley. Now, last week we had this conversation. Should it be Bull, should it be Beardsley? And Beardsley came on as a sub and scored.
Scored a great goal. 2 minutes from time or so, scored a great goal.
But I mean, I gather from the press reaction, Jim, that I don't think England probably played as well as people expected they would.
They didn't play as well as what people had hoped, I think. But 2-0 is a satisfactory start, and you can't argue with that, Ian.
Yeah, well, Scotland got another victory.
I know, it's remarkable, isn't it?
Unbelievable. John Roberts won penalty after McCoist had missed a penalty.
I know McCoist had missed the penalty, and then he knocked one in.
That's right.
Fair enough.
And then Gary McAllister, rather ecstatic looking there, Gary.
Yeah, so I wonder what the trainer's doing with the cold sponge there, but never mind, folks.
Well, funny enough, we've got another result. Again, not playing as well as I've seen Scottish teams play, but you've got to be thankful for small mercies.
But I mean, what a penalty decision that was by the referee, that one against Sweden. Good Lord. Yeah.
Well, right now, Wales, getting on to Wales now, they had just won once in the previous 12 matches when they took on Belgium this week. And it had been 3 years since they'd won a competitive match. Now, this match was played at the Arms Park in Cardiff. And I think that maybe was the reason, Jim, it gave the boys a bit of a psychological lift, although they did go 1 down to Versavel's goal here. Yeah. And maybe at that stage they thought, oh, no, not again, because, as you say,
well, Belgium certainly looked a very good side in the World Cup here, and I think England were basically very lucky to beat them. But a great ball here by Dean Saunders through to Ian Rush. Tremendous run by him. And what a great goal.
Well, the thing about the Welsh, Jim, we've always wondered why they haven't won matches, because they've got world-class players, you know, Rich Saunders and Hughes, and they've a great goalkeeper.
It's what Terry Yoris said. He said he's not worried, and there's another good goal by Dean Saunders there. He's not worried about how Saunders, Rush and Hughes plays. It's the others. They've got to play well, and Saunders again involved in the action, and an excellent goal this by Mark Hughes. And maybe playing at Cardiff Arms Park and bailing out great.
Well, I think the Irish were also inspired, Jim, in their match against Turkey.
Irwin playing it in early, finding Aldridge. Houghton coming up for this one. Well, he might try one from there. Houghton, it cannoned off there, and it's in there by Aldridge. Aldridge finished it off. The Republic of Ireland go into the lead. Curled deep towards McCarthy with the header. And O'Leary! His first goal for the Republic of Ireland. And it puts them 2 ahead. O'Leary really launched himself at that one. Sheridan taking it from... Oh, here he is again. O'Leary looking for another one. Aldridge! It's another one for the Republic of Ireland. John Aldridge, his second of the game. Here's Irwin. Knocking a long cross in towards Aldridge. Back for Quinn. Another one. 4-0. Niall Quinn. Townsend. Aldridge looking for the hat-trick. A penalty given. It was a handball. A chance to make it 5 now. It's 5-0 and a hat-trick for Aldridge.
Well, it was a fabulous result, Jim, and I watched that game up at Scottish television on Wednesday afternoon, and I have to say, I thought that Turkey weren't a bad side.
Well, I made that conclusion myself after doing the game here, and I feel that Turkey are going to upset somebody. I just hope it's Poland.
Well, that sets up the game between the Republic of Ireland and England, and that's a match you can see live on the 14th of November. And that is an afternoon kickoff, by the way. But also, we've got to say, well done, Northern Ireland against Denmark.
Yes.
A 1-1 draw, but Colin Clark with the goal there. You know, it's nice to see Billy Bingham getting his boys' young squad together. Right now, to complete the picture, we've pulled together a roundup of all the other European Championship qualifiers for you with the help of Clive Tilsley.
Welcome to the European edition of Surprise Surprise. None greater than Bulgaria's 3-0 win in Romania. The favourites to win Scotland's group nudged towards their second defeat by Krasimir Balakov's expertly taken opener. The Romanians were without their first-choice keeper Silvio Lung through injury. I think his deputy Bogdan Stelea stayed at home with him to watch number 2. It came from half-time substitute Nikolai Todorov. Romania have lost star players to the west and lost a bit of heart as a result. Their standing keeper lost his bearings to allow Todorov to make it 3-0. Bulgaria's best win in Bucharest for 65 years. Italy, playing their first competitive qualifying game for 2 years, were unusually caught out by Laszlo Distel's header in the first half of their game in Hungary. A goal against Italy, always something to celebrate. But quick thinking and a quick free kick by Roberto Baggio set up a second-half equaliser. De Napoli cut down in his prime at the cost of a penalty kick. No doubt about the decision. A bit of doubt as to where the responsibility lay. The defender probably held him off, but the goalkeeper made sure just in case. To Baggio fell the responsibility of capitalising. Spot on. Hungary won, Italy won. Defeat for champions Holland in Portugal. New Dutch manager Rinus Michels undone by a second-half header from Rui Aguas. Ronald Koeman dropped. Frank Rijkaard suspended. More changes in the offing, maybe. A better night for the French against Czechoslovakia and for Jean-Pierre Papin, who does so much of their damage. First to the ball, his first goal on the hour mark. His second, 8 minutes from time, proved decisive. A fatal error. Queen's Park Rangers' new goalkeeper Jan Stejskal helpless. English interest in this match also provided by referee George Courtney. He was checking his watch when Thomas Skuravi pulled one back. Too little, too late. France 2, Czechoslovakia 1.
Well, next week, the remaining British sides go into action in Europe. And if you're south of the border, you can see Aston Villa against Inter Milan live at 8 o'clock on Wednesday night. It should be a tremendous occasion. Here's Clive Tilsley again.
Aston Villa's first-round win over Banik Ostrava was merely a sort of European refresher course. They came through it with flying colours, but they know the real examination starts at Villa Park on Wednesday. UEFA have set them a tough paper. Inter Milan's name, the one out of the hat for round 2.
You know, when the draw was made, everybody knows that the 3 Germans play for them. You know, Bremer, Klinsmann, Matthias. I went home, flicked through my World Cup programme and everything, and then when you find out that Zenga, Bergomi, Berti, Ferry, Serena, they all play for them as well. You know, there's 8 internationals, there are 8 quality internationals in a good quality international sides too. Where the other 3 players come from, I don't know.
Just as the World Cup made David Platt an international name during the summer, so the tournament familiarised us all with the talents of Lothar Matthäus, Andreas Bremer and Jürgen Klinsmann, all of the champions Germany and all of Inter Milan too. Toss in Italian goalkeeper Walter Zenga, captain Giuseppe Bergomi and Aldo Serena, who scored against Uruguay, and you have a Hall of Fame lineup that's sure to reveal any ground that we may have lost in the last 5 years of isolation since Villa's Derek Mountfield played in a European final for Everton.
We waited anxiously for the first round draw, and I think there was a few moans and groans when Ostrava came out, but this is the plum tie, this is the tie everybody wanted. The atmosphere around Birmingham and all over the country must be fantastic now, because it's a tie everybody wants to see.
Wouldn't you prefer them in the semi-final or the final?
I'd rather get them out of the way now and get a weaker team in the final, hopefully.
Inter very nearly didn't make it this far. They needed an extra time goal from Jürgen Klinsmann to squeeze past Rapid Vienna in round 1. The big Italian clubs demand European success. Gordon Cowan's played for 3 years in Italy. He knows Inter will stop at nothing to get that success.
It'll be different for our lads playing up front, getting marked by the likes of Bergomi and Ferry.
What will they have to be aware of?
Well, the thing in the box from corners, they'll just be holding the shirt all the time. Then literally they'd be hanging on to them, and it's something that they get away with over there, which doesn't exist here in England. But just shirt pulling is the biggest thing, blocking runs, stepping across as you go and try and make a run. The thing is, the pressure is always on the presidents of the clubs, the coaches, to win things. And, you know, as you know, it has happened in the past. There are bribes being made and referees are being paid and all sorts of things have gone on.
With Josef Venglos at the helm, maturing talent in every department, and a successful dress rehearsal in Czechoslovakia behind them, Aston Villa are as ready as they'll ever be to roll back the years and revisit the glory days when they helped bring the major European trophies home to England.
You look at the number of players that have played in Europe, and the top players haven't won things. A lot of players haven't won European honours. I was fortunate to get a great chance in '85, and the Everton team that season did everything right. We couldn't do a thing wrong. And it was got to be the pinnacle after trying to win your own competitive league football, which Everton managed. To go and win a European competition must be the pinnacle of anybody's career.
Is it fair to mention this team in the same breath as the one that brought the European Cup to Villa Park?
Well, that's another thing, because as yet we've won nothing. I think potentially we've got the possibility of getting to be as good as that side, but as yet we aren't as good because, you know, we haven't done it as consistently as well as that side did over a few years.
I must say, Jim, that is going to be some game.
Well, I'm looking forward to it, and I have the fortune of being co-commentator with Oldmore and his anorak there. So, really, I am looking forward to it. And I think even a goalless draw will be a good result for Villa, as long as they don't let in that all-important away goal, of course. How do you feel about that?
Well, I mean, I hope they win it because I've got some bad memories of Inter Milan having played against them and they knocked us out in the semi-final. So I'm hoping that Villa...
Oh, I'd love to see Villa score too. Yes. But as long as they don't let in one, that's the vital important issue, isn't it?
But the good thing is that Villa are playing well, so that is good. Now, the other matches that are on next week, we have a list of them here.
Yeah.
Manchester United against Wrexham. Well,
tough one for Manchester, that.
Red Elbow, now that is a tough game for Glasgow Rangers.
That is hard.
Yeah, Aberdeen.
In fact, there's some hard games there.
Yes.
And I know we're joking, but Manchester United have still got to beat Wrexham. They will battle hard. That's some tough games for British clubs there.
Right. But good luck to the boys anyway.
Good luck to everybody concerned.
Right, we'll take a break now. In part two, we've action from last night, a preview of one of today's big games in Scotland, and a Leeds United profile. All that plus another trivia quiz. We'll be right back.
Another trivia quiz?
Thank you very much. Young lady there, now, you're Michelle, and you hate working for your boss at a firm of accountants in Milton Keynes. That is called Bob. Now, Bob has been married to Lisa there for 6 years. And Bob, if I'm not mistaken, you've just come back from a romantic weekend in Brighton. Thank you.
Here.
Yes, I do.
Your best bet for a fuller flavour.
Carling Black Label. Tomorrow, in the new Sunday Sun, the paper everyone's talking about. Read the love secrets of Patrick Swayze, the star of Ghost, now taking North cinemas by storm. And the North's very own Catherine Cookson writes a heartwarming story, especially for Sunday Sun readers. Plus, get away from it all. We've got £2,000 worth of holidays to give away in another great free contest. All over the North, your new-look, colourful Sunday Sun. Discover the difference this Sunday. 64 big pages and still only 35 pence.
If you're watching television without a license, you're looking at a £400 fine. Don't break the law. Get a license.
I want to be a slug.
Whatever you want to be in life, you want to be with Prudential.
Collect packs of Gold Seal or Silver Seal batteries and snap up a free gift.
I wouldn't do that if I were you, Rupert.
If the wind changes, you'll stay like it.
I think you should make a nice cup of tea.
It seems that everyone in the world has plenty of advice to give. The question is, which is the right advice?
Oh, no, please, it's only something in my eye.
Try pulling your eyelid down as far as it'll go.
And then blowing your nose. At the Halifax, we've probably given more advice on mortgages than any other lender. With all that experience, we believe we can give you the best advice on your mortgage.
Try pulling your eyelid down as far as it'll go. then blowing your nose.
The Halifax. Special offers currently available for first-time buyers and those seeking a larger loan.
Hey, man. These two save £150 off their summer holidays at Lunn Poly. Get away.
Hello again on our profile of Leeds United. They've certainly settled down best of the promoted teams from last season and owe a great deal to the inspiration of one man.
When Howard Wilkinson planned his strategy to get Leeds promotion, he knew he needed a general on the pitch. His choice was Gordon Strachan. A great buy at just £300,000. Leeds came up as champions. Their fans tainted that triumph in the last match at Bournemouth. Strachan's worked under Ferguson, McNeil, Steen and Atkinson. He says Howard Wilkinson has given him fresh insight. But what drives him on?
I think it's a combination of a few things. Looking after myself, training hard, appreciated by everybody at the club at Leeds, and the love of the game. I think if you've not got that, you might as well chuck it. I think I've still got the love of the game and enjoying every game. I can't wait for every game.
When you say you look after yourself, Gordon, what sort of lengths do you go to?
Well, it's I make sure I'm eating the right things, plenty of sleep, training very hard. One thing I found out coming to Leeds and meeting Howard Wilkinson, that once you get to 30, people say, well, train less, take 20 minutes, don't do 20 minutes a day. I can't understand that. You're asking your body to run 90 minutes very hard on a Saturday and you're only preparing it for 20 minutes. I think you should be able to run 90 minutes and train for 90 minutes, and that's what I found here. I think you should prepare even more when you get older.
In Gordon Strachan, I saw the opportunity to change things very much for the better, very, very quickly, and in a very sort of radical fashion. And a lot of people at the time thought it was a lot of money and a big gamble and so on and so forth. I didn't think that, because I knew, or I thought I knew, that I was putting my money in a very valuable commodity, and that commodity was not a footballing commodity, because everybody knows he can play. I was buying his character and the influence his character would have on this building and on this football club. And up to now, he's not let me down.
In the Yorkshire Evening Post, Strachan, now 33, is leading the player of the season chart. This run from inside his own half came in the last minutes at Sheffield United. Strachan's been the driving force as Leeds have settled in the top half of the First Division. He felt top man that day, and didn't he show it?
We watched Vinny the week before receiving his welcome from the Sheffield United supporters in his traditional show. And I thought I'd look a right Bert trying that after I scored. I said that to John Pearson, and after I scored and I did it, I said to John, how did it look, John? He says, a right Berk.
Jan Stechkal, the Czech keeper, makes his QPR debut at Elland Road today. He could get quite a reception.
You know, no matter where you go in the world, if you have more than 2 minutes with an Englishman and he finds out you work in Leeds, you know, 9 out of 10 will say, oh, Leeds, I hate Leeds United. Here we've got the biggest Czech at QPR since Jim Gregory left. If he's asked the question, you know, what does he know about Leeds? And I think he can't speak English, but he does know it's somewhere north of Watford, and he does know that we're the dirtiest, roughest team in the country.
Yes, that dirty old Leeds tag just will not die. Elland Road certainly can frighten the faint-hearted.
If you're a good player, you'll revel in this atmosphere, you'll enjoy it, you'll go out to show that you are a good player. But if you're a bad player, you'll think it's hostile and you won't enjoy it and you'll freeze. So it's up to yourself whether you want to be a good player or a bad player. I think good players and bad players have got different views and come to Elland Road. Good players like it and they can show off their talents in front of a good crowd. Not so good players may be frightened of the situation.
What are your thoughts on how Leeds have settled down in the First Division then?
Just like a school report, doing well but could do better.
The fatality rate in the First Division, you know, undertakers would be millionaires inside 2 years. So it's easy to come out of it. Getting in's the difficult bit. Staying in's even more difficult. And actually removing Liverpool from the position of prominence that they hold at the moment is well nigh on an impossibility.
Well, I saw Leeds United on Merseyside on Monday playing Tranmere Rovers in a friendly game, and Gordon Strachan ran around as if it was a cup final. I mean, fantastic how he's playing the game at the moment, Jim. I thought, to tell you the truth, that a couple of years ago at United he'd seen his best days, but now looking at him, he's as enthusiastic as ever and playing the game ever so well. In fact, he should be playing for Scotland now, really.
Yeah, it's amazing, really, the transformation, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mind you, it is an intimidating place, that Leeds, isn't it?
Always was.
Oh, the old ref used to ring the bell. We used to wait in the dressing room till they were out. You never wanted to get caught in the tunnel with them, did you, that Leeds United? But apparently they made our lads welcome, didn't they?
Oh, yeah, I believe Jim Rosenthal and all the lads got looked after by somebody in the canteen, the lady in the canteen.
Yeah, lady in the canteen gave them a double portion of spotted dick.
Big Barbara.
Yes. Well, so there's no answer to that, is there, really?
OK, right now to Scotland, where St Johnstone too have proved a bit of a handful after being promoted from the First Division last season. The Perth club, of course, are well equipped to cope with the demands of the Premier Division. Their year-old McDermott Park ground is a shining example of how to plan for the future. It's not enormous, but everyone gets a seat. So how is manager Alec Totten, once assistant manager at Rangers, looking forward to today's game against his old club?
If you beat Rangers, you get 2 points. You beat Aberdeen, you get 2 points. But I think it's all ingredients to a tremendous game because both teams are playing well at the moment. Both teams have scored 14 goals, leading goal scorers in the Premier Division. The two Russian boys, Kuznetsov and Baltacha, playing against each other head-to-head for the first time. We've got Ali McCoist, a former St Johnstone player, Lindsay Hamilton, our goal, a former Rangers player, and the game's been a sellout for the past fortnight, so I think the atmosphere should be tremendous.
Well, as Alex says, the links are strong between the two clubs, including Ali McCoist, 9 goals for Rangers, but around 10 years ago, a great goal-getter for Saints.
Fleming knocking it forward, good running by Brogan. Brogan turning it out in front, and it's there. Ali McCoist's 18th goal of the season. Fleming. Lifted up by Brogan. Here comes McCoist, and that's a glorious goal. Exactly a repetition of the first goal. Neil forward. Brogan. McCoist. Oh, what a save. Chance here for Pelosi, and it's a goal. McCoist scores. Take top possession there by Kilgour. McCoist. Oh, that's a glorious goal. That's a beautiful goal by McCoist.
Oh, lovely stuff by Ali McCoist there.
Magic, yeah?
And the weather was beautiful, wasn't it? Perth in June. Lovely, that.
Well, the Saints fans will be hoping he's not knocking him in today for the Jazz. Yeah. I believe, when I was up in Scotland, that the Rangers fans are delighted with Kuznetsov.
Yes, well, I think he was a good buy, or is a good buy. But because it's interesting this afternoon that he comes up against our other old pal, Bal Thatcher.
Yeah.
Not Margaret, Bal Thatcher. And that's going to be a very good confrontation, interesting.
It's amazing, a Scottish Premier match, we get two Russians playing against each other.
Right, isn't it?
Could only happen, yeah. OK, now we drop to the Fourth Division, where the unlikely top game of the day is Rochdale against Torquay at Spotland. Now, last week we mentioned the continued goal-scoring feats of Tommy Tyne. He's 35 next month, but still lies second overall in the list of league goal scorers, still playing behind Keith Edwards, who's currently at Huddersfield Town. Well, Tommy was at it again, James.
Yes, I know.
This is a match against Wrexham. I don't think the Wrexham boys can complain about that penalty. Things not quite going for them, but there's Tommy with the penalty kick.
That's it.
Tucking it away.
There you go. Tucked it again. Well, keeps going, doesn't he, old Tom? That's it.
My game is based on not being scared of missing as well as scoring. The ones you miss, you think about, but the ones that you score are in the record books, and that's it. But I mean, if you have four chances at goal and you score one or two, they don't come back and say, well, what about the one you missed? It's the one you scored they talk about. So when it comes down to it, it's just that no fear, and if I get enough chances, then I'll score enough goals.
Well, of course he's right, his old Tom. At 35, you can afford lovely attitude, isn't it?
Well, you don't get many 35-year-old goal scorers,
no,
I'll tell you.
But not 1 out of 4 in, and you're home and dry, which was always the ratio we worked on anyway.
Yeah. Well, talking goals, we've got quite a few goals coming up here from last night. Northampton.
Absolutely.
Against Walsall. Theo Foley's boys, the Cobblers.
Theo. Cobblers to Theo. The Cobblers to Theo. Here we go. And the first goal by Bobby Barnes. Little Bob there.
See, I remember Bobby Barnes when he played at West Ham.
That's right, yeah.
He was always looked a good little player.
He did, yeah. Number 2 coming up now, Steve Terry. Remember Steve? He's played for Wimbledon in the cup final, didn't he?
He played for Watford.
Watford. That far back, and he's still playing. Good Lord. Well done, lad. Well played.
A missed penalty kick coming up. Bobby Barnes involved in everything, little Bobby, last night by the looks of things. Yeah. Got himself pulled down for the penalty kick, and of course, because he got pulled down, he wanted to take it.
I don't blame him for that.
But I bet he's wishing he didn't.
Well, you can't blame him for that either. I mean, we all miss him occasionally. Yeah. He is a bit upset there. And punching the penalty spot will do no good for you at all, my son.
Now, here's an interesting goal coming up here from a player that's... people will not know an awful lot about, but it's Greg Campbell, the son of Bobby Campbell, the Chelsea manager.
And
what a good goal.
Yeah. He looks a good player. And there's Charlie, our World Cup panellist. Good old Charlie.
From the Cameroons.
That's right, from the Cameroons. Yeah, amazing. He's playing in this game, isn't he? That's a good goal. Good goal by Phil Chard, number 4.
It was a bit of a rout by the looks of things. I mean, Walsall are having a terrible time, Jim. Just can't do anything right. And Greg Campbell coming up with another goal.
Greg Campbell.
And this was a beauty.
Yep, he hit this very well, didn't he?
I tell you what, it wouldn't surprise me if Dad came up with
an offer.
An offer.
An offer to Theo.
Hey,
Theo would turn him down.
I mean, that was a cracking goal.
Good stuff. Good
Wonderful.
Stuff. Yeah.
And I mean, it's nice to see Theo moved up to second spot.
Yeah.
Going back there, I thought he was in a bit of a hiding to nothing, leaving Arsenal, which is a cracking job. And who would want to leave the Arsenal and go to Northampton? But he's done it.
I would.
And they're up there. You would?
I would, yeah.
You would, yeah. But well done, Theo. Right, now it's trivia quiz time. And first, last week's winners. Now, the top prize of the Gaza autograph ball was to William Campbell of Crawley in West Sussex. And, well, you see, if you're one of the lucky runners-up to win a World Cup book, I can tell you that last week's answer was Scotland have thrashed Zaire, Holland, New Zealand and Sweden in World Cup final matches.
Scotland.
Right. Now, this week, we are giving away 12 autograph copies of this brand new Souness video. And you can win one if you answer this simple question correctly. How many championship sides has Graeme Souness either played for or managed in his career so far? How many championships for Graeme Souness at the top level, of course? Answers on a postcard only, please, to St Greaves Trivia Quiz, London Weekend Television, London SE 99 6YW. Answers on next week's show. Right, Jimmy, tell me if we... 10 seconds.
Right.
Where is Ian Botham today?
Ian Botham's East Coast Walk. Today he is from Burwell to Boston, and tomorrow Boston to Holbeach. So keep going, Both, my old son.
OK, that's it. Next week, we preview the Skull Cup final between Rangers and Celtic. We reflect on what promises to be a thrilling week in European competition. So join us next Saturday. Bye for now.
Hey, there's the winning ball. Yeah!